I think most everybody that's on Read Your Dog knows that I'm an obedience trainer, and I can't stand these positive reinforcement food trainers. I can't stand them and what they do to dogs. But today, I trained with hot dogs. It's true. Yeah, call the food trainers and tell them I'm using hot dogs. Listen, all dog trainers, we have to take food into consideration. And I train my dogs, I train every dog with food daily when I feed them twice. I make them wait for their food, or maybe I put the food down and I pick it up and take it away. But there's something in place where a training scenario when I feed the dog. It isn't about sit, here's some food, sit, here's some food. Not like the way that the food trainers use. They use food as a primary reinforcer. As a matter of fact, they use that as the only reinforcer, food. It's ridiculous. You can pet a dog, you can use praise, you can use toys. In my case, I use toys, retrieving as a positive reinforcer. Going through a door is a reinforcer, a positive reinforcer. So it's ridiculous to use food. And I used hot dogs today, and let me explain why. I'm working with the dog. It's very screwed up. It's a bottle-fed dog, and it's atypical of a bottle-fed dog, meaning most bottle-fed dogs that I know trust humans. And the reason why they usually trust humans is that they've been bottle-fed by a human, right? So Siegfried and Roy, when they would get the young tigers, they would bottle feed them to ensure that the animal trusts humans. And that's how people in the movie industry do it. They get the bear or whatever, and they bottle feed young animals. So it's very unusual to find a dog that's bottle fed that has this issue. This is one of its issues. It has many issues, but it doesn't trust. And it's not just me, it's other people. So I went and got me a package of hot dogs, and I sat down in front of the dog's crate, and I ate half the package of hot dogs with the dog, sharing it with the dog. And there was a total difference in the dog as soon as I started sharing my food with him. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, Caine's always screaming about giving dogs, hot dogs and people food, and here he is doing it, exactly what he says not to do. It's so much different. What we're doing here with this dog is we're trying to gain its trust. And it's very similar to when you go in the doctor's office, the vet's office, and the vet is giving your dog biscuits and stuff. It's the same thing. You want to gain the dog's trust. And in this case, I used hot dogs, and I feel sick from eating them. Seriously, they're disgusting. So don't train your dog with hot dogs. That's not what I'm advocating. And this is very rare. Usually, a dog comes to my house for a board and train. So when that happens, I take over everything for the dog, and the dog is kind of in an imbalanced state because its pack has been broken up, meaning it's away from its owners. But in this case, I'm working with the dog in the owner's house. So it's very important for me to gain trust. And right before I tried this, I was going to try and push for the dog to come to my house so that I could get the opportunity to do this type of thing. I wouldn't have used hot dogs. I would have just let the dog get kind of hungry and then fed it its normal food. But in this case, it worked, and there was an instant change in the dog's demeanor. I could see it instantly. The dog I gained trust. I can't help a dog unless it trusts me. And most dogs, they look at me like, oh, look, there's the big dumb human, like that, They're stupid, and they just see me as this instant leader. But in this case, this dog is so confused, it was necessary that I open up the package of hot dogs and share some hot dogs with it. This is not a scenario that is going to happen over and over again. I might do this tomorrow with the dog, and I might even do it one more time. But what I'm going to slip into is I'm going to be feeding the dog instead of the owners. So I'm going to gain trust with this dog, and I've already gained it. I might not have to use the hot dogs tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. But if I have to, I might do it one or two more times. But we don't train dogs using food. But as obedience trainers, you ask any obedience, food is a concern, and food is something that we do use occasionally to help train a dog. Would it be helpful to keep giving the dog hot dogs? Hell no. That is not what we want to do. And that's where things really go haywire. So as soon as I see that, hey, look, this dog trusts me, all obedience starts full on, and that's it. You know, we won't have to look back at this. The dog trusts me, that's it. So if you get a dog and you want the dog to gain your trust, you might train it by feeding it by hand sometimes. But you don't keep doing it over and over again and attaching commands to it. That doesn't make sense. The dog doesn't get better at it. What it ends up doing is getting conditioned to be excited. And we don't want that with this dog. This dog has enough problems. All we want it to do is trust me so I can start working with it. So in this case, I did use hot dogs. Call the food trainers. Caine's using hot dogs now.